What if I told you that instead of dreading the cold, dark winter months, feeling seasonal depression, low energy, gaining weight, just not feeling good, you can actually unlock your body's anti-aging and fat-burning systems in the winter so you can come out of winter with not only a glow up, but with optimized health that can actually help you prevent disease in the long term. In this video, I'm going to share 4 life-changing habits that I've been implementing in my own life the last few winters, and I have seen and felt so many benefits. These are literally going to help you glow from the inside out and become truly stress resilient, and I am so excited to share them with you. I used to literally dread winter. I would feel so cold, literally inside my skin to my bones. I would have to wear massive coats, always have the heating on, and now it feels like the complete opposite. I feel like my core body temperatures actually increase, and most importantly, I feel very healthy and resilient to the cold. And something I've realized now is that winter is an amazing time to help our bodies build resilience and activate the pathway that helps burn fat for fuel, that helps burn fat at rest, that helps burn fat for heat. And the way that we do this is by activating something called brown fat or brown adipose tissue. And I know that brown fat doesn't sound that appealing, but brown fat is not like that pinchable or pullable fat that you have on your body. Brown fat is completely dense and concentrated in mitochondria, and the way we activate it is through cold exposure. So when this brown fat in our body is activated, it literally will use our actual pinchable, pullable white fat. It will burn that for heat. It will burn that for energy. And so what's happened is that humans today, with our well-insulated heated homes, our heaters in our cars, our well-heated offices, we barely ever spend time outside in the cold. We've forgotten how to adapt our bodies to the cold. And there's a really interesting case where there was this baby that when it was born, it was declared a stillborn baby. So it was sent to the morgue and it was put in a refrigerator overnight. And when they came in the morning to do the autopsy, they heard crying. And of course, they were completely mortified and frantic. Like, how did this baby, like, thank God it's alive, but how did it survive overnight in a refrigerator? And so then they went in deep into studying what brown adipose tissue is, brown fat is. And what they found is infants, babies, have a lot of brown fat because they can't regulate body temperature themselves. They can't just be like, oh, let me put a sweater on or let me put the heating on in the house. So they are rich in this activated brown fat, and we can actually activate this brown fat through regular cold exposure. I've always believed the key to glowing up and looking the best you possibly can is optimizing your health. Everything that's happening inside of you will be a reflection outside of you. And we are designed to be metabolically flexible. We want to be better fat burners, and we can design our bodies to burn fat during winter by activating this brown adipose tissue. So I'm going to give you 4 different ways that you can expose yourself to cold and activate this brown fat. And they're going to be in order of difficulty. So you absolutely do not have to do all of them. You can just do number 1, which is the easiest one, and it's completely free. And you will still get the benefits of activating that brown fat. And not only does this train your nervous system to become more resilient and learn how to be safe in environments of stress, because it's literally teaching your body, I can stay calm even when things feel uncomfortable. But doing this will also help boost your metabolism, strengthen your immune system, improve circulation, lower inflammation, boost dopamine levels. There's just so many benefits for strategic cold exposure and helping our bodies adapt to the cold. So one of the easiest ways to cold adapt is literally to just let your body feel the cold. And the way you can do this, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, is you can literally just go on a walk with maybe a sweater in your backpack and let your body feel that cold. And maybe within 2 minutes, you'll start shivering. And at that point, you can put that sweater on. Maybe it'll take 5 minutes, maybe it'll take 10 minutes, maybe you work your way up. But this is how we activate that brown fat. And by no means should you be continuing to stay cold when you're shivering, when your lips are turning blue. No, at that point, when you start feeling a bit cold, then you can warm that body up. The important thing is you let your body be exposed to cold. Maybe at home, you want to wait before you put the heating on, or maybe you don't want to keep the temperature of your home as warm as it is in the summer, right? Like there are different seasons. Our body's meant to feel a bit colder in certain seasons. You want to give your body the chance to generate that warmth by itself without you always assisting it and allowing it to cold adapt and becoming stronger and more resilient. The second way, and you can do this anytime during the day, is getting a bowl of cold water. So it can literally be cold water from the tap, or if you want to work your way up, you can put ice cubes in it and literally dunking your entire face. And what this does is it triggers something called the mammalian dive reflex, which has a very calming effect on the body. So it's not very stimulating, it's very calming. It lowers blood pressure, it lowers heart rate, it relaxes your nervous system, and it's really beneficial. So if you have issues with stress, if you have hormonal issues, if you have issues with energy in the morning, this would be a really great way to start your day, to just put your entire face in, take a deep breath, hold it for as long as you can, come out and do that for 3 to 5 times. And you can even do it after work if you feel very drained and depleted. It won't be very stimulating, but it will have a nice calming effect and it will shift your energy. And again, it will help you cold adapt and activate that brown fat, which is what we want to be doing. Now, number 3 and number 4, which are slightly harder in difficulty, but I personally love them, is cold showers and cold plunges. And I will say you shouldn't be doing this every day, and you certainly shouldn't be doing them at the end of your luteal phase, maybe 4 days up before your period and during your period. So you definitely want to know where you are in your cycle and use this as a tool. Don't use it if you're struggling right now with health problems. If you're taking medication for anything, please consult your doctor before you do full cold plunges. I love doing cold showers, and all I do is at the end of my shower, I turn it as cold as possible for 30 seconds to a minute. It feels incredible. I don't fear it at all. I actually really look forward to it because I know how good it makes me feel afterwards. And finally, with cold plunges, again, this might be an issue of budget and accessibility, but if you do have a place where you can go do a cold plunge and you're metabolically healthy, then I would give it a go, because I, by some circumstance, had the opportunity to do cold plunges twice a week. And I truly know it has had the biggest impact on my overall health. I feel very resilient to the cold. I feel like my body just burns fat and I can eat so much more than I used to before without putting on weight. I just did 2 minutes at 10 degrees, and that gives you all the optimal benefits. You don't even have to go crazy and do lots of time or really cold temperatures. Step 2 is circadian signaling to optimize melatonin, and what I'm going to share with you, I believe, is one of the most underrated tools in optimizing your health. So if you are struggling with literally anything, your mental health, fertility issues, painful period cramps, brain fog, digestive issues, this is one of the most underutilized and underrated ways to help your body heal and become as healthy as possible and literally glow from the inside out. The very first thing that I learned was that melatonin is one of the most anti-cancer hormones that your body produces. So they literally use melatonin with cancer patients because that's how much of an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effect it has on the body. And you are literally capable of producing your own melatonin. And so this section is going to be all about how can we optimize our melatonin production. 5% of your melatonin is created in the pineal gland, and we should be creating more of this in the winter because this melatonin is created in the darkness. And because in winter there's more darkness, we should be creating more pineal melatonin. Melatonin isn't just a hormone that helps you sleep. It's actually a hormone that runs all the key repair programs in your body while you sleep. So one of the main ones being autophagy. So it literally gets rid of damaged cells while you sleep. Another one is called apoptosis, which literally gets rid of cancerous cells. So potentially cancerous cells, when you have good healthy amounts of melatonin, it will literally destroy those damaged cells. It will get rid of those cancerous cells. The rest of the 95% melatonin gets produced in the mitochondria. And when this happens properly, when this happens efficiently, it can even help to slow down aging because that melatonin is like a cleanup crew and it gets rid of all the damaged cells. It prevents oxidative stress and neutralizes free radicals and reduces inflammation. And those are all things known to contribute to aging. On top of that, it helps with ATP production, which which is the energy currency of the cell. It helps with detoxification. It's really, really powerful. So let's get into how can we maximize our melatonin production, the 5% in the pineal gland and the 95% in the body. These tips are so easy, but the issue is how most of us live in the winter is exactly what prevents melatonin production, is exactly what suppresses it. And a lot of people unknowingly feel rubbish when they could be implementing these simple actions every day to feel better. So how does it work? Your body can only release melatonin when it knows what time of the day it is. And the only way for your brain to know what time of the day it is from natural light outside from the sky, not through a window, entering your eyes. Because this tells something in your brain called the SCN what time of the day it is. The light outside has all of these different wavelengths of light. It will have red, it will have orange, it will have blue. And so if it's early morning sunrise light, the blue wavelengths of light are going to be a lot smaller. Then as you get to midday, the blue wavelengths of light are going to increase. And then as you come to the evening, the blue wavelengths of light are going to decrease again. When you go out at sunrise and you view that natural light in your eyes, your brain tells your body, oh, it's time to release a healthy amount of cortisol. It's time for the gut to start secreting digestive enzymes because we're going to be eating soon. It's time for bowel movements to happen. There's all of these different things that your brain can now tell your body to do. It can now tell your body to be operational, right? It's not like in repair mode anymore in the evening. So your body really needs to be synced up to your circadian signaling in order for you to function properly. That early morning light entering your eyes really helps with hormonal balance. So if you're struggling with any fertility issues, if you're struggling with digestive issues, this is a really underrated way to help heal that. Then after sunrise light, you've got this period of time called UVA rise. And this is when your brain, when you view that natural light outside, will help create neurotransmitters. So it will create serotonin. That's what helps you feel really good. It will help you feel really motivated. Then later on in the evening, your brain will convert that serotonin into melatonin. In fact, when your brain views that morning light, it will tell your body, okay, right now we have that healthy surge of cortisol, which is what we need to feel motivated and happy. But then it will say in 12 hours, we want to make sure cortisol is low and melatonin is high. And this is why if you don't have that circadian signaling, it makes sense why you can be tired but wired at night, why you can be experiencing digestive issues, why you can be experiencing brain fog. Your body's confused. It doesn't know what time of the day it is. It doesn't know when to do the thousands of tasks it's meant to do. In the evenings, what we want to do is we really want to block out that bright blue artificial light. And the way that I've done this for years and I absolutely love is I use these circadian friendly blue light blocking light bulbs that are like orange and red, and they really mimic campfire and they don't emit any blue light. So that really helps tell the brain, oh, especially in the winter when it's dark by 4 or 5 p.m. in so many areas of the world, the last thing you want to be doing is having bright lights on all the time. In order to maximize the rest of our melatonin production, the 95%, this is so easy. It needs near infrared light. And so if you are outside, there's all these different wavelengths of light. There's a near, mid, and far infrared light. Simply by spending more time outside in the winter, and this is all connected because you can be more exposed to the cold, you can spend more time outside, you can get those natural light in your eyes. That is what's going to help your body and your mitochondria create all that melatonin. Now, something that I love, and if you have the budget for it, I highly recommend getting it, is a red light therapy device. I remember I bought mine on a Black Friday deal in 2021. So now it's my 4th winter using it. I use it for 10 to 20 minutes, at least 4 times a week. And it gives me an insane amount of energy. It makes me feel so good. It's the ultimate winter hack for preventing seasonal depression and feeling amazing. Red light therapy bulbs are tuned to a specific wavelength of red and near infrared light. So it's like this really powerful burst of that gorgeous infrared heat that your cells need to make all of that melatonin and work optimally again. Another tool I love is saunas. Just getting that heat from the saunas is this beautiful exposure to infrared. But of course, don't worry if it's not possible for you and it's not accessible. Simply doing exercise and spending more time outside regularly and consistently. Consistency is more important than perfection. Even if you can only do 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day of being outside compared to before you're doing 0 and you're working from home all the time, you will still see a benefit and you will still see a difference. Saunas aren't just powerful for your health because they expose you to infrared, but they're powerful because they help with drainage and detox. And talking about drainage and detox, that brings me beautifully onto my next tip, which is lymphatic drainage. And there is nothing that is more linked to your appearance than your lymphatic system. Once you learn about this and you have tools in your daily habits that you can implement, you will literally look and feel better than you ever have before. Before I started using these tools and I knew about the lymphatic system, I did not know if it was gonna be a good day or a bad day. My face was always puffy, I was always stressed, and I would always resort to really bad habits with dealing with my stress because I didn't know any better, like just crashing out, numbing myself, doom scrolling, stress eating, watching loads of TV. But now with these tools, I've learned so much about lymphatic drainage and how when you promote that drainage, then you can completely shift your energy for the day. And not only that, the puffiness goes away, the glow comes from the inside out. That feeling of health is really being reflected because your body is working optimally. And the reason this happens with lymphatic drainage is because your lymph system is your body's waste management system, and it's literally all over your body. Your lymphatic vessels are literally connected to every part of your body, and every cell in your body is literally bathed in this lymph fluid. Your lymphatic system is responsible for draining 3 to 4 liters of like this waste toxin filled fluid every single day. But there's things that block this efficient drainage. And when it is blocked and when it's stagnant, you become inflamed, and then eventually that leads to more chronic symptoms and disease. Your lymphatic system is absolutely essential to your immediate and your long-term health. So what are the things that makes your lymph go stagnant? One of the biggest ones is stress, right? So even being stressed in our mind can cause stress in our body, and we can start really breathing quite shallow. And I used to do this all the time. My breathing used to be very shallow, and I used to get shoulder pain all the time because I would just hold so much stress in my mind and my body. And so then that would create tension. Tension in the body stops that lymphatic from flowing. What's another thing? Not having enough infrared. Infrared really helps with flow processes in the body. So if you're just spending all your time inside, warm at home, not wanting to go out because it's cold, not moving that body, of course the lymphatic system will not be able to drain efficiently. It won't be able to get all of those toxins out of your body efficiently. Your cardiovascular system, which we all learned about in school, has a central pump. It has your heart that pumps the blood. Your lymphatic system, even though it's just as important as your cardiovascular system, it does not have a central pump. There is nothing in the body that's moving that lymph fluid. So we need to assist it. And the way we can do this is really simple ways of just moving our body more, going outside, walking loads every day, 30 minutes to 1 hour walk every single day, being outside and exposed to that infrared, going back to our roots, going back to nature. Exercise is also an absolutely amazing way to keep that lymph moving. For me personally, something I love, because I love slowing down a bit more in the winter, I do a little bit less intense exercise. I love going to more yoga classes, but as a woman, I love practices like Gua Sha and reflexology, something that really helps to relax my nervous system, but also promote that lymphatic drainage. And on top of that, really helps to sculpt and lift your face, specifically when you do neck and shoulder Gua Sha. And I have videos on my YouTube on how to do this. You have lots of lymph nodes around here, and it really helps with the drainage. A lot of the time, you don't even need to work on the face. If you open up the neck and the shoulders and the chest with the Gua Sha practice, you will automatically have that lifting and sculpting effect on the face. And then with facial reflexology, there's so many nerves in the face that if you just do a 2 to 5 minute massage, you will feel your whole body relax, your whole nervous system relax. And when our nervous system relaxed, our body can heal and the lymphatic system can drain efficiently. I will link my favorite tools again in the description if you want to check them out. In the winter, when it's colder and drier, this especially pulls moisture outside of your body. And even if it's not winter, so many people are dehydrated without even realizing. And how does this happen? How do we become dehydrated even when we're drinking lots of water? This happens because it's not water that hydrates you, it's the minerals in the water. And there's a lot of water these days that people are drinking that is just mineral deficient. Your body is literally made up of minerals. Magnesium is the second most abundant element inside of your cells. And we need these minerals. We need macro minerals, which are also known as electrolytes, and we need trace minerals in all the right amounts so that our nervous system can work properly, so that our cells can communicate, so that our heart can beat, so that our brain can work. A mineral deficient person starts to experience a lot of mental and physical health problems. And I saw this personally in my own life, especially with magnesium. The more stressed I was, the more magnesium deficient I became, because it's the first mineral your body uses up. It just uses up all that magnesium in your tissues, and I just wasn't replenishing it because I was just drinking tap water, and it wasn't enough to replenish my magnesium needs for how quickly I was burning through it. Once I started becoming really intentional about drinking liquids that are rich in minerals, that are rich in electrolytes, my health transformed. My stress resilience transformed. The more magnesium I had in my tissues, the more calm I was. My perception of life changed. Things that used to bother me before kind of just went over my head and I didn't think twice about it. I was able to regulate my thoughts and my emotions so much better than I ever have been able to before. And so I learned how to make this really simple drink, which I'm drinking right now. And it takes 2 minutes to make magnesium rich water at home. The reason we do this is because in nature, in the past, what would happen is in local springs, water would just rush down, like the waterfall, it would rush down and hit all of these rocks. And the rocks would be full of brucite, which is the term for magnesium hydroxide. So the water would take this magnesium into the local springs, and then that magnesium hydroxide would react with the CO2 in the atmosphere, and that would create magnesium bicarbonate water, which is otherwise known as magnesium rich water. And so I recreated this and I started making it at home. All I had to do was mix a little bit of magnesium powder with sparkling water for that CO2, for that carbon dioxide. I've been drinking this all day to help me with my focus and my energy and my mood, but I usually have about this much magnesium water, regular water, and then I squeeze a lemon in there because the vitamin C really helps with the bioavailability of the electrolytes. And then I also put in some sea salt and some trace mineral drops. So there's loads of natural bioavailable ways that you can include more minerals in your daily life. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want to gift you the magnesium that I use completely for free for a limited time and while stocks last. So if you just want to go to the description, there's a code there where you can get the magnesium pack I use. And I've had so many messages over the last few years on how much this has helped people. I've been drinking it consistently for years. So check it out if you think it could help you. I hope that wasn't too much information, but I wanted to give you the core pillars of how to optimize your health so that your appearance can be transformed and be the best it's ever been, so that you can feel your best, your energy's high, and can come out of winter completely thriving. These are the habits I've implemented so that I could work a 9-to-5 and build my content journey, so that I could leave my 9-to-5 and build my business, so that I could do a coaching certification, start YouTube, so that I could always have the energy to follow my dreams and my desires, because there was a time in my life where I wanted so much more for myself, but I just didn't have the energy and I didn't have the health to pursue those things. And so it became very important to me as a first foundation to learn how to heal my body and maximize my health. I hope that was helpful. Would you want any of these tips in more detail with more science? Do you have any questions? Let me know in the comments. And if you're on this journey, I'm proud of you, I'm excited for you, and I'll see you in the next video.